Today I feel like filming this video, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. First off, I'd like to say that thank you everyone who subscribes to me, who's watched my videos in the past, and because I know it takes a lot to get me to subscribe to someone on YouTube, and it takes a lot more than that to actually get me to watch their videos. So the fact that there's so many people who are interested in what I have to say and my videos and my channel, that they're willing to subscribe to me and watch my videos, it really does mean a lot to me, and I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. And now, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to. I'm just want to get a lot of stuff off my chest, and I hope I don't upset or offend anybody. I'm not concerned about doing that, but I don't want people to view this video as me attacking my fans or attacking my viewers. No, I'm just saying what's going on and how things are and how I feel right now. So pretty much, I've it takes a lot of time to put these videos together, and since say October 2011 up to now, up to about right during E3, I spent more time making videos than I'm probably going to spend playing video games from now to the end of the year. You know, just a 5 or 10 minute video, it takes a lot to put that together, to film it. It takes a lot of different takes. It takes a lot of editing and, getting the stuff online. And, it takes a lot of effort and work, especially when it comes to organizing something like Operation Blue Wave and trying to organize activities and figure out what I could do that would be fun to, organize fans into appreciating the build up to Nintendo's E3 2012, and uh, I do it because I enjoy doing it. I do it because I know a lot of my viewers enjoy it, and a lot of people come to my channel because they enjoyed what I was putting out, and I'm just glad I was able to do something that I enjoyed and that other people enjoyed. But I'm not going to do videos or do things that I don't enjoy because I know people would like it or because I know people would want it. If that was all I cared about, I could put out a whole bunch of videos and get get ad revenue from them. But if I know that they're not going to be something that I enjoy doing or something that I care about, I'm not going to do it just because I can and I know I could become more popular based on that. And basically, what I'm getting at is, I mean, I've from October, from the day like Mario 3D Land came out is really when I started this sort of push building up to E3 2012. Yeah, from then to now, I've I've done Operation Blue Wave. I've organized that, and I've done a lot of videos. Almost several videos a week most weeks. And really, what I Operation Blue Wave, what I was really getting at, what I really wanted to do more than anything else, was to provide an alternative to a lot of the negative hype and negative. There's just the negativity that's going around in the gaming community and in general, and particularly directed against Nintendo and Nintendo fans. Uh, so I think I did that. I'm happy I was able to do that. Uh, but that being said, like I know I made a lot of videos responding to negative things people said about Wii U or whatever. When I did that, I'd do it if it was fun. If there was someone said something about Wii U and I thought, hey, I can make a video or a response or a rebuttal to that I would enjoy filming or would have fun doing, then I went ahead and did it. And excuse me, I'm making long pauses, but I want to organize everything so I'm not just bantering endlessly. So even when I acknowledged a negative argument or something, and uh, I tried to keep that separate from the Op Blue Wave stuff. Like anything I tagged Op Blue Wave or made part of Op Blue Wave, I tended to not even talk negatively about the other systems. I don't talk negatively about the other systems anyway. I might criticize them. I might have something to say that if I see something I don't like or something I don't agree with, I may respond to that. But I'm not saying, "Oh, F Sony, I hate PlayStation, I hate Xbox." That's not what I was going at for at any point. I'm getting off topic a bit, but So after all that, and then it took a lot of effort to organize all the stuff, all the Operation Blue Wave stuff. That took a lot of effort. That had hours and hours of work. That had nothing to do with anything that was even on YouTube or anything like that. And then there was the Nintendo World event, which uh, I was sort of a part of. And I'll be honest, uh, I'm not even like there's no secret. All the real like heavy field work that was all done by Street Pass NYC and the people working in Street Pass NYC in terms of like directly communicating to Nintendo of America and stuff like that. They kind of just invited Operation Blue Wave along for the ride to help promote it and you know as a center of fan energy that's trying to funnel energy into Nintendo's E3 2012 presentation, they invited me to come along for that. But really, I kind of rode shotgun for that. I really wasn't like doing all of, like the work involved with that. There was a ton of work involved with that. A ton of talking to Nintendo of America and Nintendo's PR company and stuff like that that I wasn't even a part of. So and that's not even considering all of that. And thanks, by the way, for inviting me to help make Operation Blue part of that, fans. So anyway, so to have all that build up and to try to go out of my way to provide sort of a positive environment or a positive initiative regarding Nintendo and and all that, and just in doing that, just in saying I like Nintendo, I get people going on internet radio doing 20-minute rants about me and how I'm worse than Bin Laden and how I'm a child pornographer and all this stuff just because I say I like Nintendo and because I'm excited about Nintendo's new system. That alone is enough to get people angry enough about me to specifically target me for harassment and ridicule. So like that'll there's that alone. But then when Nintendo's E3 2012 presentation does come, and let me tell you how my day went that day. I'm not saying this to complain. I'm just saying how it went in the context in which I feel the way I do right now. So after months of buildup of me, of doing the videos and sending letters and trying to organize all this stuff together, and then I wake up at 4 in the morning after lots of phone calls just organizing all the people I went with together to get to this thing. Uh, so I wake up at 4 in the morning. I head out to the train station, which is a drive away from me, and then I have to then I take the train into New York City, and then I walk to Nintendo World, and I'm the whole time I'm tweeting constantly from my phone that I got specifically so I could tweet from the event and send photos from the event, and that all that. So I do all that, and then I'm there and I'm trying to take videos, on the line, and I'm tweeting photos out. And then when I get there, there's the whole miscommunication that caused me not to be allowed to film there, and for Street Pass NYC not to be allowed to film there when we thought that would be. We tried to plan in advance with Nintendo's PR company so that wouldn't be the case, but there was some miscommunication, and uh, the store employees they wanted us to be able to film. They weren't allowed to let us because of what was going on behind the scenes that I'm not even going to get into. But I was allowed to take photos. So I'm taking all the photographs I can. I'm tweeting photos out from my phone and all that. And I'm constantly tweeting. My thumbs hurt at the end of this. And then after the presentation, I'm just like, from people from my from the Operation Blue Wave people, there's just like a tidal wave of negativity of people like outraged about the E3 presentation, and disappointed by it. And hey, I'll say it myself. I expected Nintendo to be more aggressive with their hour-long E3 presentation itself. I was expecting more in terms of what they did and didn't show, and I think it had pacing issues. But people were just like outraged. Like I open up my phone and I see Nintendo lied to me, Nintendo screwed me, screw Nintendo. This is from people that people so rapidly pro Nintendo on Operation Blue Wave on like Twitter and on my YouTube comments, and I'm like, wow, you guys need to calm down. Like you guys are like too overzealous, like against the other companies and pro Nintendo. Even I'm not into it that much where I'm that riled up. And any videos where I'm seriously riled up and I'm like, da 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 da, Nintendo rocks, da da da. Like, if I make videos I make like that, or where I seem like I'm seriously angry and menacing, videos I do like that are done deliberately over the top, and what I'm saying has an element of truth in it, but I'm delivering it in an over top the top manner, and for effect, or to make, or to enforce a specific point I'm trying to make in what I'm saying. But anyway, so I just see a lot of people are upset, and then a lot of people are in the immediate aftermath, like minutes after and like the hour after, Nintendo's E3 presentation. I see people getting upset at me, like, oh, you tricked us, or you misled us, or sort of like Linus at the end of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, where Sally's like, you said the Great Pumpkin would come and he didn't, you lied to me, like kind of like that. Like, so, and then I have people who have disliked or disapproved of or weren't or didn't like Nintendo or me for months, like coming at me of like, oh, I told you Wii U would suck. I told you the graphics would suck, whatever. So it's like, okay, you don't have. I'm not disappointed because you're dissatisfied with Nintendo's hour-long E3 presentation. I was sort of taken aback by how irrational the response was when people were responding like this was the end of Nintendo's E3, when Nintendo spent a lot of that hour saying that this is not all we have to show. This is not the entire story of what we have for 3DS and Wii U. You have to do more research. You have to go to e3.nintendo.com and stay tuned because we have more announcements, more games to announce for Wii U and 3DS, and more news and details. And people were just reacting like, "Oh, why didn't like Nintendo's E3 hour-long presentation was the entirety of E3," and we're just really upset about that. And then like I'm texting like crazy and trying to get tweet news out, tweet photos from the show out, and then I'm getting a bunch of stuff sent at me like upset or dissatisfied, and that's not like why I felt the way I did, but it's like um, I just sort of felt like the Great Pumpkin came. Maybe he wasn't as orange as you expected, or he didn't give out the types of candy you were hoping for, but the Great Pumpkin did in fact come. So it's like, so I got a lot of disappointment and upset, and okay, but then I'm trying to tweet out as much as I can. I'm running out of space on my phone for photos. It takes a lot to tweet when you have a little keyboard and there's stuff going on all around you, and so people are saying like, oh, H isn't saying anything because he knows Nintendo bombed, or because he's trying to cover up for Nintendo because he knows their E3 sucked, or what. And this, mind you, this is before I'm even out of Nintendo. This is while I'm still in the store, and I'm trying to get stuff out as fast as I can, and like really the way it just blew up, I was kind of what's the word? Not disenfranchised, is it? Disillusioned. Yeah, I was somewhat disillusioned by just it was really just a tidal wave of negativity in the immediate aftermath of it. Just knee-jerk anger, uh, which had, I think, if Nintendo had started with with Nintendo Land and ended on Pikmin 3, I think the immediate reaction would have been a lot better. But a lot of people came off of that like Nintendo Land was all they showed, and were really upset about that. Oh, it was all casual. They said they were going to be hardcore, and they lied, or whatever. And there are a lot of things about Nintendo's E3 2012 presentation I could criticize and talk about. I'm not going to do it in this video. So I'm not saying, oh, it was the best E3 ever and it was perfect, and you guys, how dare you criticize it. That's not what I'm saying in this. I'm just talking about the irrational nerd rage and knee-jerk negativity that was sort of sent in my direction. And the fact that the idea that that reaction, and then that sort of bummed me out, frankly, right there in the store. And I had people who were with me who were kind of were asking me if I was okay, and because I looked visibly upset, or sort of, and it, when I've sort of made myself sort of the shepherd, so to speak, not to aggrandize myself, of sort of this a movement to get excited about Nintendo's E3 presentation. And then I see all these people who are heartbroken, frankly, or upset about it. I'm not going to feel good about that. And I was a little upset from that standpoint. But then it just really got increasingly toxic and like irrational, and just like when I get home and then okay, then I have there's then I had to stay there. I was there I hadn't sat down for hours except for like during the presentation, on my feet taking photos, trying to cover things and tweet things out, and hanging out with people and talking to people who know things about what's going on within Nintendo, so I could get some additional insight I could hopefully use to inform my coverage of this. Uh, then so when there's all that, and then additionally, I'm walking the length of Manhattan, taking people places, and bringing people to places they need to go, and getting back to the train station, and then I have to take the train ride back home. Then I had a little car trouble in the train station, and then I get home, and then I have like 24 hours. I mean, a lot. Yeah, I have a whole day of real life responsibilities I have to catch up on. And people are saying, and then I get on like the computer, and people are like, "Oh, he rage quit it, or he's not posting because he knows Nintendo E3 sucked, or because he knows Nintendo sucks and he looks stupid now, or because Nintendo let him down, or because he's heartbroken over Nintendo, or because he's doing damage control for Nintendo." And it's like, I'm not gonna. I did not invest hours and hours and hours of my free time into this to be exposed to this sort of nonsense. I did this because I enjoyed myself and because I was helping other people enjoy themselves. I wasn't doing this so that I could expose myself to this negativity. I have enough negativity in real life over things that actually matter to expose myself to nonsense over people getting angry or upset over a video game that doesn't exist yet. So that being said, and so it's like, I'm looking and I'm like, people, I get troll comments. But then I like see people who are like on my side, so to speak, on this, who are like, either upset at me or irrationally angry at Nintendo, like the hour-long presentation was the whole of Nintendo's announcements for E3, or like they'd broken a promise to them, or however that sort of atmosphere went, and it's like, and then the real kicker was people, both like trolls, people who hate me anyway, and people on my side saying, "Why isn't H saying anything? He's covering up for Nintendo, or he looks stupid now, so he's gone into hiding, or he's bummed out because of Nintendo." It's like, and then it's like people, and I made videos, like the day, once I got caught up with everything, I was tired. I woke up at 4 o'clock, and I'm up till like 11, editing videos to get what little video I was managed to be able to take, and media together and everything. And then I'm getting bombarded with messages of people demanding I make videos that I'm already working on, demanding these from me. "Why isn't your video up yet? Why isn't your E3 reactions up yet? You're not filming it because because it sucks, and you're trying to, or because you don't want to say anything, or whatever." And then like there were people. So I made my honest reaction to Nintendo's E3 presentation at the time. This is before E3's even over, and people are saying, "Well, you're saying one thing, but I could hear in your voice and I could see in your eyes that you're heartbroken about Nintendo, and you're so sad and you're upset, and you're lying. That's not how you really feel. You're really mad at Nintendo. You're really upset and disappointed." And it's like, okay, so if you're going to impose how you feel upon me, then what's the point of watching my videos? If you know how I feel, or know what I'm really feeling inside, and that's not what I'm saying, then why bother watching my videos? And then there was this whole what really disillusioned me was when how many people, like dozens of people, my fans, like my critics, my haters, the trolls, and like people who watch my videos, and people thinking that I was covering up for Nintendo, that I was doing damage control for them because I planned on having a live reaction video from inside the store, like I did for E306, E3 2010, and E3 2011, and I wasn't able to do that because of the reasons I explained. And people saying that that was a lie that I came up with, that I was lying, that I had footage or had taken footage and I was hiding it, that I was deliberately lying and misinforming my viewers to try to cover up for Nintendo or make Nintendo look good or do damage control for them. That's offensive. That is like, what kind of world do you live in where you think that that's what's going on in my head? That's how I live my life. I've I've tried to make my videos on being as straight and as honest as possible. I do not say things in my videos that I don't believe, unless it's like deliberately facetious and there's supposed to be an element of irony to them, which I don't think I. Yeah, I made a couple of videos like that, and apparently I'm such a good actor that people actually fall for it and take me seriously, and so. Anyway, people were like willing to like lie and to think I was lying about it. That I was trying to cover up for Nintendo or whatever. And so I took that and I deliberately just turned that whole notion on its head for my own amusement. I made a mock video admitting that I lied about there not being allowed to film at Nintendo World and that there really was reaction footage. I mean, and mind you, unrelated to the point of this video, the reaction in the store was actually pretty general. It was very good. It was great energy in the store. I wish I had reaction videos because one cute, amusing / cute thing, whatever, is that when they'd show something that hardcore gamers weren't necessarily interested in, like Just Dance or whatever, like Just Dance, for perfect example. They'd show that and people would be like, oh, whatever. And then when they actually showed how the gameplay had been changed with the new gamepad, they were actually pretty excited about it. So the atmosphere in the store was actually pretty good. But that aside, totally unrelated point, probably a tangent I shouldn't even went on this video. So I deliberately played on that and turned the whole notion of H is lying about the not having reaction footage at E3 because he's trying to cover up for Nintendo. Then I made the video with that stock footage of people mourning for Kim Jong Il's death and saying it was Nintendo E3 Nintendo World reaction footage. Yeah, so I got a kick out of that. But just the fact that there were so many people, even before I made the mock admittance video, the reason I made that was because there were so many people who were willing to believe that I was lying and covering up to try to protect Nintendo or to do damage control for them. If I was a viral marketer under the pay of Nintendo, if that was the case, I wish that was the case because that's certainly not the case. And unless someone pays me an enormous sum of money, some which I can't place a number on because I don't think there is one, I'm not going to lie about a video game to try to make it look good to people I don't know or to mask my true feelings about it. I try to base my videos on honesty. So that, and then there's this general, like even beyond that, there's just general negativity, or there's a sense of the sense of disappointment sort of diminished as the full E3 played out. But I don't feel like making a video, and when I make a video, and I know I'm going to get my email because I read all my comments because I want to participate in making videos, and if I know that I'm going to get a bunch of negative stuff from not only from Nintendo haters or whatever, but from people that are been on my side about how I'm masking my feelings and Nintendo E3 sucked and you're just covering it up, or morons sending me Project P100 screenshots saying, "See, look, I told you the graphics would suck," or crap like that. It's like I'm not going to spend my time. going out of my way to expose myself to negativity. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to film videos. If I'm going to film a video, I don't like being told what to do. If I'm going to film a video about, oh, I'd like to make a video about that, and then I get a bunch of people demanding I make videos on that, then it's going to discourage me from doing that, because I don't want to feel like I'm being forced to make a video that I don't want at a time I don't want to. You know, I'm going to make the videos I want when I want to. And then there's this other element of people who are on my side who weren't trolling or mad or whatever, or being silly, saying like, "Oh, poor Super Train Station H. Nintendo let him down, or Nintendo made him look stupid, or Nintendo let him, let me down, um, or whatever, or saying that I wasn't making a lot of E3 response videos because of how heartbroken I was, or how disappointed and down I was over Nintendo's fail E3, and it's like, that's so silly. And you say like, oh, I could hear it in your voice, or weeks later, the videos I did feel like making or want to make, uh, people saying, oh, why aren't you talking about the 3DS XL, or why aren't you talking about Nintendo Direct? Why aren't you talking about making more videos about how you feel about Wii U? I could tell you need to get over E3, and just because it was a fail doesn't mean that you need to get over it. I need to get over it. I need to toughen up and get over Nintendo's E3. And it's like, what kind of life do you think I live that, regardless of whatever they did or didn't show at E3, and regardless of whatever I was and wasn't expecting, that you think that I'm just sitting around like crying into my pillow, like I'm losing sleep, or where I made a video about the Speed Gamers Pokemon Charity Marathon. It raised nearly $60,000, I think, for autism care and treatment, which is totally awesome, by the way. When I made a video about that, I had a sore throat. I was sick. And there's some times where I felt like making videos, and I was just sick, and like sounded like my voice was like being censored out, like I was under witness protection or something. And I made like videos where, like, some videos I made where my throat was sore, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I hear you're still upset about E3, or you're still upset about E3." And I was like, I have interests and a life and things that have nothing to do with Nintendo and with video games. That, like, video games are a distraction from what I do, all the other things I do. They're what I do when I don't feel like doing anything else, or when I have time to kill, and or things like that. Like, I have other interests and hobbies, and a life to deal with. And I deliberately, the frequency of videos I made leading up to E3 2012, I made that partially with the specific expectation of saying, like, okay, I'm going to make a bunch of videos because I'm able to squeeze out the time for that now. But in the future, I'd like to still make YouTube videos, but I don't want to have the free time to make videos, to dedicate that much time to Nintendo and video games and making YouTube videos about them. I enjoy the time I do have to make that, but I'd like to be busy with more significant things that mean more to me, things I enjoy more. And then video games are a break from that, or a release from that. Like, I have a vegetable garden in my backyard. I love British railroading and steam locomotives, and I have all sorts of, and I have family members to take care of that I'm responsible for. There are lots of things that I do aside from gaming and Nintendo that I'd like to make time for, and that I'd maybe even like to make videos about. So I took a break from YouTube, from making, I plan to sort of make fewer videos after E3 2012 anyway. All the nonsense, all the stuff I saw that I didn't like and didn't want to go out of my way to expose myself to was coincidental to that, and had a certain impact on my decision not to make videos and as frequently as I had and the types of videos I had. And then the videos I do make about this or that, about like the Act Today, the Pokemon Marathon the Speed Gamers did for Act Today, and for like the video I made about a home video me and my friends made a decade back that I posted, or just other videos, whatever I like, the video I made with two fiddler crabs fighting with Pokemon sound effects in the background. I want to make that video for months and months. I had that video sitting on my computer, and I wanted to make that video. I just never had the time to. So I finally get to do that, or I finally wanted to post, the homemade Mafia movie me and my friends made back when we were kids, and then I see people. Oh, why are you making this video? You need to get over it and start making good videos again. Why aren't you making Nintendo videos? And it's like, okay, doing that isn't going to make me excited about making videos if I feel like I'm doing it under the pressure of someone being silly on the internet and getting mad because I'm not making the videos they want me to make, like I owe it to them. Uh, I of course feel a certain sense of like a certain sense of commitment or responsibility to make things I know my viewers will enjoy, but I'm not going to let some loudmouth tell me what to do in terms of what videos I do and don't make. Uh, so, and by the way, I bought a brand new HD camera in anticipation. I got it. I bought it before E3 2012. It got lost in the mail or something. It didn't show up till like a couple of weeks ago. I hope to have it before Nintendo E3 because I wanted to have take some for my videos and photos. Of course, it didn't come in time, and that aside from that, I wasn't allowed to film in the store anyway, so it didn't matter. But yeah, I didn't buy this camera. I didn't get this camera, which was a significant investment for me, and I didn't get this so that I could stop making YouTube videos and stop filming YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm gonna make more videos. I'll make the videos I want to make on the subjects I want to make them about when I want to, and I take suggestions into account from my viewers. But I have like a book with a whole list of things I want to make videos about. Many of them Nintendo related, many others not Nintendo related, and I'd like to enjoy doing that. And I know people are saying, "Oh, don't let them get to you." But me not going out of my way to expose myself to that by making videos at the time or whenever, me going out of my hiatus was my way of not letting them get to me. Okay, I'm not like, oh, they're being mean, I'm leaving YouTube because screw you, or because oh, I don't want to make videos anymore. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go do something else that I enjoy doing for now, and that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what I'm gonna keep doing. So that's about it. Thanks for all my supporters. Not real. If you were dissatisfied with Nintendo's E3 and just stated that alone, that's not what I'm about. I'm not mad because you weren't happy with Nintendo's E3 presentation, and I'm not like hiding because because of whatever. I'm trying to hide something or avoid discussing a certain topic. That's not why I choose to make videos or not make videos. Oh, and one quick thing regarding the people saying, "Oh, I have to smack myself in the face with an egg because they made a 3DS redesign." I made a video. The video I made was specifically about them announcing an E3 3DS redesign at E3 during the Electronic Entertainment Expo. I didn't say that they'd never ever make a redesign or anything like that. And I specifically said that because I knew they probably eventually would make one. And I didn't know. I didn't know when at the time I made that video. I didn't know whether they did or did not would reveal a 3DS design at E3. I believe that they wouldn't, and I was correct. And my bet was that, you know, if they announced one at E3, I'll smack myself in the face with the raw egg. And believe me, if they if they had dropped the 3DS XL at E3, I would have had fun smacking myself in the face with a chicken egg. Just, you know, because I know you know it would make for a funny video. Uh, but they didn't. They waited till a few weeks later, and they had a Nintendo Direct where they announced it. Now, one interesting thing is that at E3, at Nintendo World, in the store, like immediately after the Nintendo World store ended, I talked to someone who there was a rumor going around in the store that Nintendo actually did have the 3DS XL at Los Angeles under lock and key, and that if Sony the day before, if Sony had revealed the you know a major Vita redesign or a new model of the PlayStation Vita or or something like that, then Nintendo had that ready to show to try to distract from that. But because Sony didn't do that, Nintendo decided to wait and to show the 3DS XL. That was a specific rumor that was going around in Nintendo World Store in the like minutes after Nintendo's E3 presentation ended. So that's something interesting in that respect. I have more videos to make. I look forward to making them. I look forward to sharing them with you on topics of Nintendo, of gaming in general, and of not Nintendo. So I hope you enjoy the videos I put out in the future. And that's the status of my YouTube channel. Now, if I think maybe I'll put up some new stuff on my site as well. I have dozens of site things for my website that wouldn't necessarily work well as YouTube videos that I haven't done yet. My website's at supertrainstationh.com. I haven't updated it recently. And I have stuff that I post on my blog as well. So I hope you enjoy the content I have put out in the future, and thank you very much for watching.